Hello. Hi. Welcome. I'm tired. It's been a long couple of days, long week, long month, long year. I don't know how to quantify it at this point. It's just 2024 has been a year. But hi, welcome. Hope everyone's doing okay today. I am okay, I think. Maybe? I don't know if I'm okay or not. I hope I am. I know that's like, glowing with confidence at the moment. But hi, welcome. We're playing more Sonic today, because I've lost control of my life. Thank you for the head pats. I kinda wanna finish this game, because I don't like letting projects linger over my head. So I might even do a bonus stream on like Friday or Saturday to try to just finish up Chaotix and be done with this game. Not to say I don't like this game and I haven't been enjoying streaming it, but just, have the project over and done with. But I also started late again, which seems to actually be the pattern so far. So we're actually gonna mute that and we're gonna hop over here and just jump right in because I've already been very behind schedule today.
Here we go!
Yeah, let's go! It's here, yeah!
What's wrong with you?
It's here! We've got work!
What?
I've heard good things about you and require your detective services. And I can pay handsomely.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
SBO, don't be silly. Besides, you know our policy. We never turn down work that pays.
Yeah, you know our policy!
Come on, boys. Let's go.
Yes, sir!
Roger.
Yeah, beach time!
Now what are we gonna do?
See,
I must test your abilities.
Bring it on.
Ready.
Here is your first mission. I want to test
So, Team Chaotix is a thing. Basically, this is totally mission-based. Meanwhile, Charmy is already not interested. That's just Charmy in general. But hello, welcome everybody. Team Chaotix's gameplay is kind of just a hodgepodge of missions. Basically, we have all sorts of objectives of varying levels of fun and quality, and we have to complete them one by one. So, another thing worth mentioning in Sonic Heroes is every stage has an alternate mission. I think for Sonic it's always a time attack. For, Dark, I forget what it is. Like, defeating enemies or something, or either that or a hard mode. I genuinely don't remember all of these. Team Rose I forget as well, and Team Chaotix is the one I do remember because they're often kinda garbage. Like, for example, instead of finding 10 hermit crabs, which there are 20 naturally, you do have to find all 20. And basically that's the case for most of their stages, where it's like, oh, here's the objective, but now you have to do it like 100%, there's no wiggle room, it's like miss items or anything. So it's just kind of frustrating sometimes trying to go for A ranks on those. We're not doing that. Personally, I'm not really big on 100%ing Sonic games in general, because a lot of them have a lot of random like BS to try to do to get A ranks and 100% and everything. So it's just easier to not worry about it most of the time. Truth be told, I don't remember where most things are. It's been a few years since I last played this game. So this will be fun, as I just try to kind of flounder my way through and try to get everything as quickly as possible. That's why the stream title this time is Send Help, because I don't know what I'm doing at all with this game.
And be careful not to.
I did look up a video and I tried to watch it, but I also have ADHD, or undiagnosed ADHD, so admittedly I absorbed like none of it. So I basically remember where the hermit crabs are in the stage, and that's basically it. That's all I know about this. So we are basically gonna wing it past this stage. But actually, we're almost... Never mind, we're done. That was actually mercifully easy. But again, this is the stage I remember the video for. So, the next stage, I think is also not bad. It's after that when we have a problem. Starting with Grand Metropolis is when things get dodgy. I don't know what I'm doing with my voice today. I don't feel like I warmed up at all, because I didn't plan ahead. Because I almost never plan ahead with things like this. And now I'm trying to, like, find where my voice should be, and I don't know if I should just say heat from fire, fire from heat until it lands, if that'll work. You sound great, thank you. I don't think I sound great personally. I think I sound kinda nasally, to be honest, because my breathing has never been good my whole life. A lot of post-nasal drip, so I always worry about that coming through, basically. But again, that's like neither here nor there, probably. Yeah, but who cares? True. Hello, welcome. Everybody is cute, thank you. I hope I sound cute. Why did I say that? That feels weird to say that for some reason. I don't know why. But anyway, Team Chaotix, like Team Rose, tends to play a little bit differently than the other two teams. SBO cannot light dash, which means after last stream, I'm okay with that though, because every light dash was cursed. So that's one less thing to worry about. But also we have the fun dynamic of SBO's Tornado actually making him invisible, which I think for this mission is required for the second mission, because you have to get to the Lost Chow without actually getting spotted by anyone. So you basically just turn invisible and do the whole stage like that when you can. Beyond that though, Vector has some unique properties too. I don't really remember all the details, but I want to say there's something special about him as well. Most of the special attributes end up with the power characters versus the speed characters versus power or flight, though, I want to say. In general, though, I do like Team Chaotix's more than most. I know people tend to disparage this part of the game a lot. This tends to be the most divisive part, and even though I also think it is very rough at times, I also don't mind most of the optional objectives. Sonic Heroes is kind of interesting to think about, because it's basically like if you take the 5-mission structure of Sonic Adventure 2 and make that a requirement. So like, in that game there are 5 missions, like collecting 100 rings, completing stages with a time limit, finding a Lost Chow, and... which one am I forgetting? A hard mode version. So like, you basically have all those represented by different teams. So it is like having to do all that as a mandatory mission instead of optional. Which is why Heroes tends to get a bad rap, I think. Because it does end up being a little tedious at times, having to go through the same stages like 50 million times. But I personally don't mind, but I also might just be like a Heroes fan, so I'm like okay with it, like more than most.
Impossible feat.
Anyway, Egg Falcon or Egg Hawk once again. Again, I don't think we should have any problems with this. We just need to use the like aerial attack and we should be good to go.
You're the ones who are playing games with my army? Sorry, just part of the job.
That's the evil genius, Dr. Eggman.
Doctor Who?
Yes, let me show you who I really am.
That line is way funnier than it was when I was a kid, because I actually didn't know what Doctor Who was at the time. So that's cute now. I don't think it's an intentional reference, to be honest, but it is something that I think is cute nonetheless. So yeah, I'm kind of in focus mode because of just trying to get through the boss quickly. Again, Big and Vector tend to have a relatively easy time with this fight, because you just do this, and you don't really even, in Vector's case, have to push a button apparently. So yeah, easy fight, but I'll definitely get into some topics once we get to Grand Metropolis, because it's a very long and time-consuming stage, and a lot can go wrong, so we will be having plenty of time to just catch up there. I also never posted my link everywhere. I forgot again, because I am very good at this. It's almost like I've only been streaming for a little over 2 weeks, and I still kind of don't know what I'm doing.
Now for the real test. All of you are about to enter Eggman's territory. Are you ready?
Not too late to change your mind.
Why do you think we're here? How else are we gonna make the rent?
Let's go!
Here's your next mission. Destroy.
So yeah, we have to destroy all the robots. I think the second mission for this one is doing it with a time limit, which is awful, from what I recall. I never 100%ed Heroes. It's one thing I would love to do someday if there was ever like a remaster and there was like achievements, I would probably try. Just to say I've 100%ed most 3D Sonic games. The only ones I'm missing are Unleashed because of the hot dogs, and Forces, because there's a lot of BS in Forces. Like, missions that are like technically...
Here we go!
Okay, technically optional, but just very time-consuming, but are required for, like, achievements on, like, Steam and stuff. Wow, I'm having a good start here. But yesterday, Tuesday, September 24th, I almost said January for some reason, there were a lot of gaming events. There was, the Sonic Central, and I don't really have strong opinions, because I didn't watch the whole thing, full disclosure, I only saw the shadow parts. But then there was also the shadow news at the State of Play, and the State of Play itself was like, I didn't care, I didn't watch the whole thing.
Here we go!
Okay.
Truth be told, I don't really like State of Plays. I will watch a Nintendo Direct, but the PlayStation State of Plays just feel a little bit dry in terms of like how they're presented, and I never quite got into them as a result. Just a little bit flat compared to like Directs, and like Directs got better. They definitely started out very dry at first, but they got better, a little bit more like flair to them. But yeah, State of Plays, after like 4 years of, you know, them doing this, they still feel so sauceless compared to like anyone else's presentations, in my opinion. Mostly because I think they're trying so hard to emulate the Nintendo Direct style in a way that feels a little bit shameless and also lacks its own identity. So yeah, common State of Play L. It was actually an okay State of Play. I've never actually played Ghost of Tsushima, but I really would like to someday. And if someone who has a disc copy of Horizon, I might do the $10 upgrade, because I kind of want to give that game another shot, because I definitely kind of rushed through the game because there was like a weird giveaway thing at the time, where it's like, oh, if you beat Horizon Zero Dawn, by this date, and like you have the trophy on your account, you're entered to win a PS5. So I just rushed through the game, and because of that, I don't think I really enjoyed the game as much as I had wanted to. I need to not go in autopilot mode. We actually do need to fight every enemy in this stage, and I feel like I've already missed one. Basically, if you miss an enemy, you have to loop the stage until you find what you missed, which takes a long time, so I prefer not to, because the stage is like 7 or 8 minutes as is. And now, we have the fun part of Chaotix. They love cannons. Basically, you have to do a lot of weird cannon bounces with Chaotix in general. Basically, in like... Okay, I don't know what happened there, but we got all 3 somehow. But basically, with a lot of the like robot stages, there's a lot of really weird like cannon tricks you have to do in order to like get through the haunted area one. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Shadow Generations. I still don't think I'm playing it day one, partly because, at least for streaming purposes, I do have plans to go through Shadow the Hedgehog first, so I'm not entirely in a rush. And because I have separate plans for October, which will be relevant potentially as soon as tonight, no, more likely later on in Tokyo Game Show, from what I gather, I do have something planned for October that I'm excited to do. Hopefully it goes well, because it's a genre I haven't streamed yet, though that could be said about a lot of genres, because I've only streamed Sonic games and, like, Splatoon. So I haven't done very much, but at some point I've also been kind of clamoring to go through Splatoon 2 again, because, or Splatoon 1 and 2 again, because I'm feeling nostalgic after the Grand Festival. The Grand Festival, like, hit me like a truck, to be honest. I was not expecting it to hit as hard as it did. I guess it just kind of hit me how much Splatoon meant to me, but it was just, like, super, like, emotional in a way that I was not expecting whatsoever. So it just really got me wanting to go through all the games again at some point. This feels scary, because I can't see where I'm landing. Case in point, I don't know what you're supposed to do about that, but luckily for us, enemies stay destroyed, it looks like, so at least we don't have to worry about that BS again, but we still have to deal with this, and this will also be a bad rank because we're already at the end of the stage practically. Thank you for the head pats. Yes, hello Peter, hello Sonic. I don't remember, and hello Caitlin. I was just trying to remember who all had popped in at this point. Hope everyone's doing okay. Again, my day is weird. I don't think I can talk about too much of it because I'm just, like, stressed over things that don't really matter. The other thing I've been thinking about is playing Zelda, but I don't know if I'll play Echoes of Wisdom, just because spoilers, people might want to play it for themselves first, therefore I might wait on that, but I might go through some other Zeldas first. Echoes of Wisdom reviews dropped, and it's kind of funny because it's, like, reviewing really well, but it's still, like, lower than most Zeldas, so it's causing quite a stir, oddly enough. I'm still excited about it. I think I'll enjoy it based on, like, what I like out of Zelda. And everything I'm seeing and feels like it's up my alley, but I get why. It's a little bit more down the middle, and, well, not down the middle, it's still an 86, but, you know, a little bit less universally loved than some. So yeah, other than that, like, Mario Party I might get because I like Mario Party. And Chamboree looks really good, and then there's Mario & Luigi, which is just a, you know, childhood favorite of mine. I don't know how many other games I'm gonna be trying this year. At some point I would like to do more streams of, like, game clearing. I don't know what I'll call it, though. That's basically why I haven't done, like, official game clearing type stuff yet, is I don't know what to call a game clearing series, to be totally blunt. It's like, I feel like I can't just call it game clearing. Even though it's just a basic phrase, it feels like it's already taken in a way. But trying to go through my backlog, essentially. Lord knows I have too many games that are unfinished and I've just been sitting on for years. I'm gonna Team Blast. I'm gonna Team Blast and hope that fixes the camera, because I can't see. Actually, that'll end the stage. Yeah, I have no clue what happened with the camera there. You don't even call it anything. Yeah, that's true. I don't need to give it a name. I can just say, like, oh, this is my first playthrough of this game. I almost feel like, you know, catchy titles for the sake of organizing streams when I, like, start uploading on YouTube and stuff. Because I do want to archive everything on YouTube. I'm actually running out of hard drive space, though, so I feel like I need to, like, sort things out, though. Because I don't know how many more streams I can do before running out of room. So the hard mode of this one is defeating all 5 instead of just 3, if I remember right. I don't know why I thought it was SPO for that. But basically, the Shadow news was really cool. Again, maybe it's just because I'm, like, a Sonic fan and everything, but everything shown off looked really cool. They're bringing back a character that I was hoping they'd bring back, and I was, like, absolutely theorizing over a piece of artwork that they were hinting at this character, and I don't think they were hinting at this character still, but I'm glad that this character's still in anyway. So a task failed successfully where I predicted something, but I think I predicted it using something that literally didn't exist. Basically, I thought like Shadow's shadow and the key art looked weird, which would imply a certain character who was shown in the trailer, and I don't think they were implying that whatsoever in hindsight, but it is funny that the character showed up anyway in the trailer. Again, I don't know if I should talk about it, because it's like, it just happened. Maybe people haven't heard. Hello, welcome. We're just going through Heroes. Last story mode, other than the last story. We are not finishing Chaotix today. We're already off to a fairly bumpy start. It's gonna be a miracle if we do. And even if we do, I don't remember how long the last story will take. That'll probably be a solid, like, half hour, 10 to 20 minutes at the lower end. What is a multi-pat? Is that like a combo or something? It's like, that's a new one. I mean, that's happened before. I can't even give head pats in return because my gift sub ran out. So I guess I cannot return head pats for the time being. I think I do have one active subscription to someone with a head pat emote, but not the one I usually like to use. Unfortunately. Alrighty then, I don't remember where the robots are. We're just kinda winging it at this point. Yeah, you can give head pats to me because I can't fire back as easily because I don't have like any others on like quick select essentially. Like I know I do have some, it's just they're not like, I don't use them enough to have them on like the front of my, you know, recently used kinda. Just up to you, but with what money? I'm saving money for other things, unfortunately. At some point I wish I had more, like, disposable income to subscribe to all my friends for all their cool emotes and everything. But unfortunately, I feel like I tend to have to be very, like, choosy with what I spend money on, for budget reasons. This is Fox. Have you paid your taxes yet? I don't have to pay taxes. I don't have an income yet. Who needs video games only? Peter, that is a valid point. I don't even know what I'm doing in this stage, to be honest. I'm just kind of going on autopilot. But yeah, hello, welcome. Oh, I missed one, didn't I? Yeah, I did. There's one down here, I think. Somewhere. There it is. I don't enjoy this particular stage very much. You really think that matters to father capitalism? No, not particularly, but still. How am I? I don't know how to answer that question. To truth be told, I think I'm okay. I hope I'm okay. I know that's a very cryptic response, but it's kind of the truth. It's been a busy week. Busy, like, month. Again, streaming's been nice, but it's also just added a little bit of stress to my life where I need to actually, like, wake up at a reasonable hour. Hope you're okay and not committing gay crimes. Not to my knowledge, at least. So far, I can say. You know what? This is actually going pretty well so far, which means because I said that, we're gonna have a weird, inexplicable death at any moment. What about trans crimes? I think the technical term is trans wrongs in this case, but I don't think I've committed any of those recently either. That's not my shtick, actually. That's other people in the community, who are the ones committing trans wrongs. I'm just an instigator. Like, I just kind of enable. I don't, like, usually engage in chaos directly. I just kind of, like, let it happen, and sort of stoke the flame a little bit, but not start the fire. Oh boy, We're fine. Okay, I just almost ran into a bunch of stuff there.
Here we go. Let's go.
Here we go. Here we go.
I don't even know how to start in this community, to be honest. Like, what trans wrongs would I commit? I don't know. I'm not, like, as clever in that regard, I think. And I also don't want to, like, steal other people's, like, bits, basically.
Let's go.
I say as I also say, oh, you know, compulsively at this point. Now that I'm saying this out loud, just hopped in to wish you luck. And to tell you, don't forget to have fun first and foremost. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a good day. Is it here? No, it's not. It's further up. Okay.
Let's go.
I feel like I'm really out of it today. Which isn't, like, unusual, to be honest. I'm always, like, tired, to be completely blunt. Oh, is this the one where we have to, like, fall and then, like, go back up or some nonsense? Seems like it. Not my favorite activity in the world, in terms of, like, the draw distance of this game, not wanting to cooperate. In general, though, Sonic Heroes is a game I have a lot of fond memories of, and a lot of memories of being very frustrated with, to be honest, but overall very positive memories. Shadow's the more complicated one, because I have some very not good memories with Shadow, some of which I probably won't even talk about if I stream. I like to think that me surviving can be trans wrongs to prove against those to those against transdom. That's also true. It's like just existing is kind of a trans wrong, depending on how you look at it. That should take care of Grand Metropolis, so that was relatively painless. Once we get to Radical Canyon, or whatever it's called, Rail Canyon and Bullet Train, those are like really annoying, so we'll have to wait and see how those go. I don't remember Bingo Highway or Casino Park being too bad, but I guess we'll find out in a moment. You might surprise me.
Man, who are those creeps over there?
What's up, SBO?
And you are...
Just what do you think you're doing here?
Who's this broad?
our client's adversary, perhaps.
You mean the bad guys?
You guys don't fool me. I know what you're after. Better stay out of my way. I'll find Eggman's treasure first. I'll get here.
I will say Chaotix has the worst time with hero fights because SBO's Tornado has a smaller radius than other characters, so I do feel like Charmy might be a better bet here. So we'll give it a shot here, see if Charmy works out any better. Doesn't seem like it so far. Sometimes they'll take damage but also not move, like this, which is frustrating. So we're just kind of at a stalemate at the moment, unfortunately. That happens, again, I'm not really going for A ranks, thankfully, so it's not a big deal if things don't necessarily work out optimally. This is like the worst fight we've had so far, which makes sense for Chaotix. We almost have a team blast though, so that should work. Worst case scenario. Yeah, like they're completely stuck on something, so there's not really much we can do here, except Team Blast, or let them move and then resume elsewhere, but I think they're just stuck on something. That happens. See if that works. Nope, only got Omega. That sucks, actually. Where is Vector? So, the other fight is also harder because they'll adapt more. So for example, they will basically use specific team members to counter you, while in this one, they kind of just go through a set formation depending on who's, like, knocked out of the fight. I thought that was gonna be a D rank, so I'm actually kind of happy with that, to be honest. Thought that would be a lot worse. Anyway, this stage
Fancy place.
Where there's light, there's shadow. Careful.
Do you ever think about the implications of Charmy having a gambling addiction at the age of 6? Like, that's kind of messed up, actually. I know in the comics there's some weird storyline where Charmy's actually older because of Knuckles' chaotix, and they had to, like, de-age him, basically. So that's always fun. Archie Comics is a trip. I don't even know if I am, like, qualified to go into the absolute dumpster fire that is the Sonic Archie Comics. There are definitely people way more knowledgeable than I on the subject. Yeah, the Archie Comics are, crazy in terms of some of the stuff that happens in them. Some wild antics. Definitely a memorable thing, but generally not well liked by Sonic fans for extremely obvious reasons of quality. Hey, we've got Tails, so that's 20 rings. Obviously you can't just play the slots, but obviously there's a risk of getting Eggman's face, so it might just be safer in some cases to just move on, not try to farm here. This is just that let's go gambling meme though at this point. I think it's also fixed, by the way, so it's like, you know, it's not RNG as far as I know. It is like a set order, so yeah, we should probably quit while we're ahead at this point, at least for this set of slots. Assuming the game decides to let me leave, we might be trapped here forever at the rate we're going. At least the music's good. Yeah, I genuinely don't know if this is random or not. Or if it's fixed. Because it feels like we've gotten it more times than we should have if it was pure random. Yeah, breaking those also gives you rings, so that's a good thing to keep in mind. Alright, let's get the hell out of here. We otherwise would be stuck there till the end of time. Moving on. Now the problem is if you get hit one time, you lose all your rings, so you gotta be very careful to avoid taking damage. So that also is why any ring collecting mission is awful in the entire Sonic series, is because one hit will cause you to have to restart. In later games, they make it so you only lose part of your rings. I think Shadow is actually the first game to do that. So in Shadow the Hedgehog, for example, the casino... That's a weird quirk. So we have to restart, because we literally lost so many rings because we died there. Admittedly, that's kind of the thing... That's something I expect in this game, because there's just weird quirks sometimes when you switch characters too fast. Specifically in the casino stages, because there's so many chances for characters to die. It's very easy for you to lose characters just because someone happened to fall off when you switched, and that counts as a death sometimes, but not other times. It's very inconsistent also, which is very frustrating. Sonic Heroes is a well-programmed game, basically, is the takeaway. Again, a game I hold near and dear to my heart, but is also one that I fully acknowledge has some interesting choices made. So yeah, if we switch to Vector right now, we might die, depending on where we ended up, so... Just gotta keep that in mind. I definitely need to be more cognizant of that going forward, especially in Bingo Highway, though actually in this case it's not as big of a deal, because Bingo Highway's mission isn't as, like, fixed for not wanting to take damage. So yeah, I hope everyone's having an alright Wednesday. I think it is Wednesday. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I might do an extra stream on Friday just to finish up Chaotix, because at this rate, we're definitely not finishing up the story tonight. We're definitely gonna need an extra stream to get through this. Now, actually, we're making better time than I expected, which is to say we're making okay time. Obviously, it could be better, but it could also be a lot worse with this game. We only got 38 rings that time. Last time we had like 100 at that point. That's just kind of how the cookie crumbles sometimes with this game. Okay, the range is not that large. Yeah, the ring hitboxes for the little turtle robots is also very awkward to work around, I think. So in general, I don't really like having to fight them without taking damage, which is like the entirety of the stage. How did SBO already die? That was a scripted sequence. He's already fallen off the stage, so cool. But like in Sonic Adventure 2's ring levels, if a character, or if you have to, you can basically reset the stage later on by returning to the beginning with like a warp flower, so you don't have a risk of like running out of rings, if that makes sense. So if all 3 characters are in the slots, it's actually multiplied, so we actually got a lot more rings out of that than we normally would. We're still like almost there, but not quite. And we also didn't have the glitch from last time where for some reason it didn't actually reset the positions of everybody, so we had to actually just jump off the platform, which would definitely be bad as we almost have enough rings. Alright, so we actually are making good time through this. We might not even need the secret room. There's basically a room with lasers. There's a switch on one of the pinball tables, I'm pretty sure, that deactivates them. But basically, with Chaotix, all you have to do is turn invisible, and then you can bypass the lasers. But at this rate, we won't even need that. We almost have enough rings, so other than that one death, which was just a case of switching characters at a bad time, this was actually a pretty good run of the stage. Like, we might be able to get it just through a slot machine here. If we don't get 3 Eggman faces, that would be bad at the very last minute of the stage. Now we have this little special table too. I think this is where the switch is for the other teams, but again, Chaotix doesn't actually need the switch because SBO can just turn invisible. So again, it is actually cool seeing how each stage is tailored to the teams. Obviously, Sonic and Dark play the most similarly to each other, so they have the least variance, but in general, it is interesting having so many combinations of stage structure, basically.
Roger.
Yeah, we didn't even need the secret room. We just had enough anyway. So, yeah, that was actually a good run. I need to actually look up how long the last story is. I guess it also depends on how much we want to break it. If we ended up just using the Team Blast glitch, obviously it'd be a lot faster. But I don't know if I want to go that route. Like, if we have time, we might just go ahead and do it. It's apparently only like 15 minutes long on a good run. So yeah, it might just be a case of just going ahead and finishing the story. Now, I don't remember the gimmick of the stage 2 for this one. It might be collecting 20, I think. So, there's more than enough for the 10 mission. If I'm remembering right, at least. Again, if I'm not, then we do have to collect a lot more. There are a couple missions where you basically do have to do everything, but then they add some other, like, modifier to the mission. In general, also in terms of stage layouts, Team Chaotix skews closer to the Team Dark version. So for example, we have metal enemy there. I think we also have fewer platforms here, making this a little scary, but again, as long as you're not moving, the gauge doesn't deplete, so... We have a bit of a predicament here, though I think there's actually a chip down here, so we should probably go get that now that I'm thinking about it. Oh boy, that sucks. I am amazed that worked, actually. I thought for sure we were gonna fall off there. But hey, we got it. I also feel like Chaotix and Dark have less non-optional combat, so like we actually have to take the time to fight everything, versus like Sonic and Rose that you can kind of bypass a lot of the enemies. Is that one? No, that's the warp back, I think, once you get to the end. They also put the chips here, too, which is really frustrating, because you actually have to, like, fight the bingo physics, or the pinball physics of this game, which is easier said than done sometimes. That was a very good shot, actually. There's another one here. We're already halfway there, so again, Chaotix's stages are either, like, really short, if, like, you get all the objectives done, really quickly, or they take 50 million years as you try to find the one thing you're missing. There's no in-between, which is probably part of the reason why Team Chaotix ends up being as, mixed as it is, because of just the steep variance in, ease of play, basically. But because it's just kind of a hodgepodge mission structure, some missions will be inherently easier than like Team Dark's, but others will be like a nightmare. I feel like there's one coming up before too long. It's also been a bit of a drought since we've seen one. Also, is there a pinball table below here? Just to double check. I do see one down there. I didn't actually mean to fall, because there was a chip above, too. So we got one, but we screwed up the other, unfortunately.
Careful not to fall. It's really dangerous here.
Yeah, easier said than done. Vector almost called him SBO for some reason. Again, there's no tilting also, like, you can't shake the table, which also sucks. In terms of, like, pinball physics, you can't really, like, adjust very easily. So yeah, we'll have to actually backtrack for this one, which means finding the camera, which is always fun. Alright, another warp, but hopefully we won't need to go back, because we got most of everything already. There's one up here that's really annoying to get, because you have to, like, break all the little, like, tiles first. Hope you can actually get enough momentum to do that. So, only 2 more left. So, overall, this was a really good run of the stage. Again, for not really remembering where anything is, this actually went pretty smoothly so far. But, Rail Canyon is annoying. There's some weird tricks you have to do in that stage. And then, the other annoying one is right after it. Bullet Station has a really frustrating set piece, if I remember correctly. I was also speaking very disjointed because I was trying not to fall there. So yeah, overall, this is actually going quickly enough that I almost wonder if we will be able to just finish the story and the game tonight, because we're almost like halfway through the story already. I think, yeah, Rail Canyon is the halfway point, so at the pace we're going, we might be able to finish the game tonight. Depends on how much stamina I have.
Dr. Eggman, you've made quite a mess here. I'll accept your apologies and payment with your life. Want some? Come and get it.
On guard.
Guard on!
Get them.
Alright, Robot Carnival for the last time. This one sucks, if I recall correctly. A lot of armored enemies, if I'm remembering right. Basically though, with the Team Blast for Chaotix, what happens is you basically build up like infinite looping Team Blasts, if done correctly. So for example, every time you use a Team Blast, you actually get rings. What that means is you can basically immediately charge it up if there are enough enemies on screen. Not every wave will be big enough to actually fill up the entire gauge, but some are, especially in the Robot Storm, I think is the other one. Yeah, they like flying enemies with Chaotix, and I really hate that, because it's just really annoying to snipe when you're relying on flight characters whose shots sometimes do not go where you want them to. Case in point, the homing attack also sometimes doesn't do what you want it to do. Yeah, maybe we will try to push and finish the game tonight, because it would be nice to not have this, like, lingering. And again, maybe over the weekend we can, or, like, next Monday we can start something new.
There's so many of them!
Smash them!
I'm just gonna do this here. I think that won't be enough to charge up, but we also have the Team Blast glitch as well. In case we are a little bit short on meter, so we can just do that to charge up the rest of the way for the next waves. Now, does Chaotix's also give you a level? I wasn't paying attention to what SPO's was before, truth be told. Yeah, the little, like, flying bird enemies, those are the worst, because just trying to hit them can be a pain. This should be turtles, right? Actually no, this is another, like, good Team Blast spot. So yeah, I hope you're, like, not gonna get sick of hearing this, because we'll be hearing it a lot, in these stages in particular, just to speed things up a bit. I have no clue how I got the Team Blast glitch like 3 times in a row. That was, like, kind of ridiculous. Oh, do you also get rings as long as the gauge is still full? I think that's also the case. So, yeah, Team Blast glitch is very OP. Specifically for Chaotix. If that is the case, not just a coincidence for one reason or another, I guess we can test it out again over here. On these enemies, if we can land a shot, if they'll actually lock on. Yeah, you actually do get rings for them as long as the gauge has still got some meter left in it. So yeah, they might have the best Team Blasts in the game because of that. Again, we're getting so many lives, which, trust me, just next stage alone will probably make them a necessity.
Don't get too excited, boy.
Well, that was easy.
Those were the easy ones.
Roger. Such a disorderly crowd. Just a waste of our time.
This has gotta be Eggman's base. Just the way we like it.
Cool!
All right, let me take point.
Yeah, this is just a get to the end stage, but it's absolute bull. I'm gonna be totally honest, not just because of the bowl-shaped trains that we'll be seeing throughout this, but this has some really weird rail switching you have to do, but the problem is Sonic Heroes rails suck. Like, trying to switch rails without dying is nigh impossible sometimes, at least it feels that way. So we'll have to see how this goes. We might have a good run, we might die multiple times, so we'll just have to wait and see on this one. I'm gonna be cheeky, this is stupid, do not try this at home. But I'm just gonna jump down, save myself a little bit of a headache there. Also, for a lot of weird, precarious jumps, I do recommend using Charmy, or Fly Formation in general, to give yourself a little bit more, like, leeway for falling. So if you do have any disasters, you're able to actually recover from it a little bit more than otherwise. It's always a problem in this game. Obviously, you can go really fast with SPO, or any speed character, but the trick of it is basically trying to maximize, like, safety sometimes, just because of how, not dependable the physics of this game can be, shall we say. Again, this is speaking as someone who actually really likes this game. It's definitely not a favorite of mine. I don't think this would even crack, like, top 5 for me, just because it does have some quirks to it that are a little bit frustrating and take time to get used to. But in general, I do think it's, like, yeah, a 7 out of 10 Sonic game. I think that's totally fair. I think that's kind of what it landed at the time, except PS2, because that version is bad, apparently. Someday I think it would almost be funny to play bad versions of games on purpose. I've actually thought about this with Guilty Gear, because with Guilty Gear X, Double X, Accent Core, and Accent Core Plus. There's actually a Wii version that has motion controls. And I thought it might be kind of fun sometime to try to show that off, because it's just really... It's an experience trying to play a very intense fighting game with like pure motion controls. I'm pretty sure like IKs are even mapped to like emotion too, so it's like really easy to land those. Obviously, except Dizzy's, because her input is like ridiculous. I do not like her instant kill. It's never... I don't think I've ever pulled it off. Though, again, to be fair, I've only started playing Dizzy within like the last maybe couple of years. To be fair, again, I feel like I talk about Guilty Gear at least once a stream. It's like I could talk about Xenoblade instead once a stream, but I don't know if that's any better, to be honest. It's like, those are kind of my hyperfixations, like Zelda, Guilty Gear, Xenoblade, in some order. I'm pretty sure Xenoblade would be higher than Zelda at this point. Guilty Gear I'm not sure about, just because, you know... Xenoblade, as much as I would say those are probably games I prefer more, it's just, we haven't gotten a new one in a couple of years. They're probably hard at work on some next-gen experience. That's one of those games, I've talked about this before, this isn't new information, but I'd love to play, like, Xenoblade, just to talk about why these games, well, 2 and 3 specifically, mean so much to me, but they're so long. Even New Game Plus, I feel like they'd take a really long time to get through. If I wanted to show off as much as possible, which I would, that's kind of my, like, mantra with some games, like, that I feel really passionate about, is trying to show off as much as possible. With the exception of Sonic, just because most Sonic games have at least something in them that kind of sucks for 100%. Like, committing to 100% SA2 would be a nightmare, and like 06 obviously speaks for itself. Though again, I've almost thought about making it like a goal someday on stream, like, oh, if we get to this point, then I'll have to like 100% 06, just because I feel like that's something I, one, would be willing to do, and two, isn't something I should just do, like, completely voluntarily. I should set a goal for that, because that feels like it'd be something worthy of, like, a special achievement.
Here we go.
I am also thinking about weird skips still. I don't really want to take my chances, though, because I'm not entirely sure what is and isn't progress in this stage. It's, like, really hard to tell what is the way forward. Oh, that's another thing. I should play, like, more way forward stuff on stream. Like, go through all the Shantaes at some point, because I do really like, most of the ones I've played. There are a couple I'm a little bit lukewarm on. Seven Sirens, weirdly enough, is one I didn't really enjoy as much. Just because I feel like it's a Metroidvania with a really bad map system, which kind of, to me, really hurts a Metroidvania if the map is bad, and, like, some exceptions, obviously, Metroid Prime, though that's almost, like, excusable, because it's the first, like, you know, 3D attempt at that in the series, so I get it. But I do find Metroid Prime's map to be very confusing. This is the kind of garbage part of the stage. If you're not trying to, like, take your time, you can easily die here. Just because the camera and the hitboxes of platforms and all this is just a nightmare to try to navigate sometimes. I don't even know if this is the way forward or not. I mean, stuff is exploding, so I'll take that as a good sign. Or not. Alright, not that way, apparently. Like, this is the problem with this, is, like, it's really hard to tell where you're supposed to go. Like, it's really, like, confusing in terms of how it's laid out. And they make you, like, use Thundershoot on that, like, Rhino enemy. I'm trying to parse this stage, and I'm having a really hard time doing so. Like, genuinely, I'm just staring at this, like, where am I supposed to go? And I've played this game before. But there we go. That is correct. Again, if you take your time, that's not bad, but if you try to actually get A ranks and stuff, like rushing it, that part sucks, because it's very easy to accidentally clip, like an enemy on a platform or something like that, and just have to redo a bunch. Again, this might be one of the longer stages, actually. Oh, that's mean. They put the switch right in front of the rail, so you end up switching it, like, right as you get to the end. Again, this stage is just kind of rude in terms of, like, level layout compared to, like, anyone else's version of this. And it's already kind of a rude stage just because of how, like,
Roger.
awkward the physics can be. The next stage is also a bit of a headache because we have to destroy a bunch of capsules. And I can't remember if we have to destroy all of them or not, or if, like, we only have to destroy, some.
Maybe we could have done a little better.
I'm amazed that's a D rank, because we didn't die in that stage, but again, I guess they expect you to go really fast in it, which, we definitely did not. We went very slow, actually. Slow and steady wins the race, as they say. Yeah, Bullet Station, it's only 30 capsules. I think it's like 60 on the Mission 2 variant. Or something like that. It's either like that, like you have to destroy more of them, or you have to destroy them without being detected or something. Or I might be thinking of Rail Canyon for being like, oh, you can't get spotted. I think that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, I'm really not sure. Oh god, I love when the game puts you on an automated sequence and then expects you to be able to react to said automated sequence with like 5 frames. It's like my favorite thing in the world. But I almost wouldn't be surprised if it's a case of Chaotix being more last minute in terms of like planning. Yeah, would not surprise me whatsoever if this is just a case of these levels are kind of like tacked on at the end. That happens a lot with Sonic, where they feel the need to arbitrarily extend the length of the game, and that means padding. Obvious example of Sonic, Sonic Unleashed, because of like, apparently the Werehog was mostly because they thought the game would be too short otherwise. Which is true, but also weirdly enough, if I'm not mistaken, Sonic Unleashed, I think, was the first and like last. No, 06 would have been full price. 06 and Unleashed were like some of the only like $60 Sonic games for a long time. Cause I know obviously Colors was on Wii, and those were almost always like $50. But also, I want to say Generations at launch was only 50. So for the longest time, they actually budget-priced, quote-unquote budget-priced Sonic games a little bit lower. And I mean, Generations, like Sonic and Shadow Generations is also like, still 50, which I think they could easily get away with bumping it up to 60 with how much they're adding to the shadow portion, but it's still being 50 is nice. It's mostly in a lot of cases with the Sega specifically, what can they get away with, and because Sonic's like brand reputation and everything isn't as good as like other franchises, I do feel like they do have to be a little bit more consumer friendly with things like that, which is nice in a way. At least we don't have to like pay as much for like Sonic games by comparison. But again, I fully think they could charge even more for the new game, because they were adding quite a bit, actually. At least from what we see. Maybe it's less substantial than we think. But kind of like Frontiers, it's really hard to get a vibe for the gameplay feel of Shadow Generations, because we haven't seen much of the hub area. We've basically only seen stages. So it's really hard to gauge how much content will be in will be in the, like, hub area too. And, like, the overall flow of how do you access new levels and things like that. We really don't know. Which is kind of exciting in a way, but also kind of like... It's always a little bit worrying, and, like, I usually don't worry too much just because, you know, it's pre-release, you don't want to, you know, tip their hand too much, I get it. But for Sonic, as a series that I tend to kind of have a mixed history with, shall we say, I do feel like sometimes it'd be nice to have more upfront details on Sonic games, just for the sake of being able to know what to expect going in. Oh boy, where are we going? There we go. So yeah, Bullet Station kind of sucks because they just kind of put you in really bad spots. Like, they set you up for an automated sequence that has a very high likelihood of killing you, which is not fun. I almost thought I didn't have enough momentum to make that. Mildly scary, actually. Just gonna skip those enemies. But also we do have a switch over one of the fans to try to, open up a path to more capsules, if I'm remembering right. But we also have two here. I recommend using that move just because, a lot of the ground attacks cause characters to slide forward slightly, which can oftentimes be enough momentum to actually send you flying off the platform. So, slow and steady again. We actually don't need the Chaos Emerald, so I might get hit on purpose, oddly enough, just so we don't have to go to the special stage. Okay. Again, I love when set pieces that are supposed to be automated, don't work properly, like jumping on rails. I feel like later Sonic games figured out to make the rails a little bit like... They kind of pull you towards them, so in older Sonic games you have to like jump, you know, onto the rail very precisely, which I don't really like. Oh boy, got it. Cool, we're fine. We're all fine. It's all good. Just slight peril from time to time. So we should be able to finish up the mission here. There should be enough capsules on the path in order to actually clear the objective. But this also sucks for if you're trying to go for every capsule, because obviously you have one shot at them, and then if you miss, you have to redo the entire stage. Or maybe I'm thinking of something else. Nope. It does go on longer than you thought. Okay. So yeah, over here. And again, because of like everything, the way it's set up, it's really hard to even see where everything is, so... Again, just kind of a rude set piece. Again, that's the case for a lot of heroes, it's just like, yeah, that's kind of rude. It's kind of a beginner's trap, almost. But again, it doesn't really come into play until the hard mode version anyway, so it's like, I can't be too mad at it, because, you know, most casual players might not even see that, so it's not a huge deal, I suppose. Oh, I forgot to drop the ring. Or drop the key. My bad. Guess we can try to get this Chaos Emerald again. Not that we need it, but hey, we're here. And it's actually faster to complete the stage than to intentionally lose it, so... Again, I'm mad at how poorly the one went for Team Rose, just because it's like, we should have gotten that first try, but if the game didn't literally break... I mean, that's a lot of Sonic games. Like, it'd be fine if it wasn't this broken.
That must be...
What do we do now?
And secret weapons must be aboard that ship. Destroy it before it reaches the canyon.
Piece of cake! Ready, all cannons! Open fire!
Alright, Yak Albatross for the last time.
Are we ready?
I am playing with fire a little bit, but
I'll take the lead!
Let's go.
I'll take the lead!
Let's go.
I'll take the lead!
Let's go.
I like how I got it like 3 times in a row last time, and now I can't get it, which is just kind of my luck, to be honest. So we'll just move on for now. Again, this charges up just by dealing damage anyway. But again, I do think a lot of the other bosses have more health for other teams than Team Rose. Like, I think they actually deliberately have less health even. You can also break a lot of the cannons around the ship also. Obviously, it's not like super helpful. If you just destroy the main body, obviously that's just as effective. But it is worth noting that you can actually break a lot of the like parts of the ship. Like, yeah, we actually got the rear cannon using the Team Blast. Oh boy, the homing attack didn't lock on. If like, there's one thing I really appreciate about future Sonic games is giving you an attack reticle, because I swear a lot of times in the older games, you think you'll be lined up, but you aren't. And like, now we have the problem here of just like, oh, now I'm performing the homing attack on the part of the ship that can't even be damaged, so it's just a waste. So yeah, giving you an actual reticle is a very good choice in the later games, to just make things a little bit more self-explanatory, less, you know, of a guessing game of like, am I gonna die or not? Am I gonna just fall into a pit because the game thinks I'm not close enough to the target? That was really slow, actually. Probably not worth it at all, but there we go. Phase 1 down. Phase 2, I might just Team Blast, to be honest. One more. There we go. And there's even enemies, so we should get a few rings out of this. Not enough to fully charge the gauge back up, but still a good start nonetheless. Might as well charge it back up all the way, and we will resume our little chase here. Once he's in range, which he is currently not, so... And I'll save the last Team Blast for, the Egg Hawk part of the fight, which is coming up very soon. Oh boy, that would've been bad over a pit, to just, like, not bounce, from the homing attack. Again, this is actually turning out less cursed than Team Dark, at least. We haven't had as many inexplicable, like, falls, so it is arguably going a little bit better, at least.
You'll pay for this!
Alright, so cutscene time, and then on to Frog Forest. Yeah, we are actually making a lot faster time on this than I thought, so we might be able to just go ahead and finish the game tonight, at the pace we're going.
Target destroyed.
Good job, boys. Guess that Eggman was a fake after all.
Of course it was.
Oh?
Listen carefully. There's a jungle just to the north of here. Go there immediately.
Got it.
You know what? Our client sure seems to know a lot about this Dr. Eggman guy.
Definitely an agent. A relative, perhaps.
Strangely enough, I had the same weird feeling about our client's real identity. It could be you-know-who.
I do like how they're at least able to figure it out on their own to some extent. Not that the game's very subtle about it, to be fair. So basically for this mission, we have to complete it as a stealth mission, which basically means just playing through it as SBO, using the invisibility, and proceeding. It's not really a big deal. We actually get to hear a lot of idle dialogue because the other characters don't follow you when you're invisible. So we will get to hear a lot of chatter from Charmy and Vector, for better or worse, depending on who you ask.
How are we supposed to move undetected when
Where am I?
Let's go.
Okay, that works. Cool. I was like, how are you supposed to go through here if you are not able to fly or use power? And the answer is like that. And luckily all the platforms are all fully formed, so we don't have to worry about, the rain and everything. My advice would just be, you know, turn invisible whenever you can. Just err on the side of caution, because you might just accidentally run into an area with a frog, which would be bad. I don't remember what the other mission is. It might just be a time limit or something. I remember the next mission also being kind of bad, but we'll see if it's like a half or if we do have to collect everything. Oh boy. Frog jump scare. Now we have to make this very fun jump as SBO instead of as Try Me, which would be a lot safer feeling. Yeah, Try Me can also access these flowers. I'm not sure how this works actually, because they look like they're robot flowers, or like mechanized in some way. So once again, we have to fly over here. It's actually weird seeing SBO totally by himself here, and not with any of the other cast. This is a really nice song. I do think Sonic Heroes is one of the most underrated Sonic soundtracks. There are a lot of really good songs on this soundtrack. But again, I just almost feel like they have the problem of they don't stand up well on their own compared to other Sonic games, where it's like the outside listenability is kind of weak. But beyond that, I do think the music is generally pretty decent in this game. Oh, that's not close enough to alert the frog. And there's nothing here, so we're good to go. Fly up and move on. Also, do you ever question the arm strength of characters in Sonic? Like, for example, you know, you might think, oh, Tails can lift Sonic and Knuckles at the same time. But also in Sonic Adventure 2, for example, with pulleys, they're literally holding onto the pulley, and, like, they're still in the mech, for example, with Tails and Eggman. So it's like, they're able to hold up the entire, like, mech by themselves without falling off, like, falling out. So, Tails is apparently very strong. Alright, that went really fast, but I don't know what kind of rank that would be. There's not really many opportunities for points, so I'm not entirely sure how you would actually increase your score for that one. And moving on to Lost Jungle, we have to find 10 Chow. I think there are 20, so hopefully this won't be too bad. But again, I think the other mission's to find all 20. And hell if I know where any of them are. It's been a long time since I've played these stages. But again, at least some of these are a little bit generous, where it's like, you don't have to do everything. You only have to collect, you know, most of the collectibles, or at least half of the collectibles. So it's not, like, overly punishing, usually. But it is good to keep an eye out. You can obviously get through these stages a lot faster, because there's enough to basically fill out the whole stage, but you really only need, you know, half of them. So it basically means everything goes by relatively quickly. Like here, there's 3 right back to back, so that's a very good chain there. I don't know why the mysterious client was so worried about frogs, and now isn't. I saw a boost ring below, and I was trying to figure out what it was even for, because it doesn't make sense that it's there. Oh, there's a Chow here. I still wish we'd get another Chow Garden, even as someone who, admittedly, didn't spend a lot of time with Chow Gardens in the past. I just would want them to come back just also partly for the sake of others, because even if I'm like kind of lukewarm, doesn't mean, you know, there just shouldn't be Chao Gardens for anybody. But yeah, it was just something I never quite got invested into, just because for one thing, it's very time consuming. Like, collecting all the Chaos Drives or Chao... It's weird that Chaos and Chao... Is Chao plural?
Enemies up ahead!
I assume Chao is plural, right? Like... Because then it would just be Chaos, as a word at least. Yeah, you have Chao and Chaos, so it would be a Chaos Drive. That was like, definitely overthinking it. But yeah, with Chaos Drives and Animals and SA2 and just Animals and SA1, it can take a long time, and even with like the glitches that allow you to duplicate animals, it still takes like a solid amount of time to raise up Chao to the point of like competing in races and everything. So yeah, it's just a case of it's a little time consuming for my liking, but again, it's totally like, I get the appeal of the Chao nonetheless. Yeah, these stages, if you find everything quickly, it actually isn't that bad. It's just a few stages in particular I think almost give Chaotix a bad reputation, but we're also coming up on one of the, like, their worst stage. So,
Awesome!
me being like, oh yeah, this isn't too bad, I'm definitely gonna be eating my words in like, probably about 5 to 10 minutes from now, because Mystic Mansion is pretty rough.
Excuse me, miss. I was wondering if I could ask you something.
If it's about a date, it'll have to wait.
Jade! You think this is a joke, you little brat?
Now hand over that chow nice and easy.
I bet you're the ones who took chocolate chow.
What?
It's not nice to tease my friends.
Yeah, time to rock and roll! I'll never let you take cheese from me! I'll do my best! Take the lead!
It actually feels kind of rare to have the
But we can't back down now.
non-speed character be the one to actually give the intro. I think they only have to... I don't know, there may be other cases. Like, I think Rouge for that rival fight also speaks up for the team, which makes sense, Rouge being kind of leader. It's kind of interesting that the different teams have, like, different leaders, like, you know, one character of each type leads one of the teams, basically. And I do feel like that is a nice little bit of balancing there.
Talk about a huge misunderstanding.
Yeah, sure made fools out of ourselves.
Nothing new for you, Vector!
What? You were the first one to jump at the chance.
No time for arguing. Now's the time to be on guard. It's very mysterious around here. Here's your next mission. You'll need to find the keys to open the doors found inside the castle.
Now, in this mission, I'm trying to remember if it's like a special thing, but I do think there are only 10 keys in this one. So there's like a special objective on top of the keys, making this, in my opinion, one of the tougher, like, hunting stages of sorts. Obviously, everything here sucks. I'm just gonna be, like, super blunt about it. Literally every, like, chaotic stage in this zone is bad. Like, you know, obviously having to find all 10 keys and not having any leeway makes this one a little bit more strict, but also, like,
I'll take the lead!
the next actual stage, Mystic Mansion, also has like one of the most infamous objectives in the game, if I had to make a guess. And then the robot battle stage for Chaotix is also pretty bad. So yeah, we basically have Chaotix, in my opinion, the worst 3 Chaotix levels back to back. So that's fun. But other than that, I feel like I've been warming up to this playthrough a lot more than I expected. Partly just because I remember having a lot of trouble before, but we're getting through it so quickly that I really don't think it's that much of a problem. Again, there's some missions that are just really bad, but it's more of a reflection on Heroes as a whole that you have to go through these missions like so many times. It's not so much like anything wrong with the stages, it's just the requirement of going through them so many times, which again is also a problem with Shadow the Hedgehog. I do also like having an item box on the top of the rail to kind of encourage you to look up there. Nice little bit of like environmental signaling to kind of guide you in the right direction to make sure, you know, it's not too cryptic. Yeah, I want to say it's like a time limit or like some kind of special gimmick for finding these. But in general, I don't know what that flower does. I'm actually curious, so I'm gonna go back. I think this is probably just a shortcut or something. But I want to check. If I can land on it, which is easier said than done with this camera angle, which I can't actually adjust. This is probably a return point, to be honest. This is probably a huge waste of time. But I just want to satiate my curiosity here. Oh, this is actually required. Oh, it's a very good thing I came here then. I forgot about that. Cool. Well, now I remember why I struggled with the stage so much growing up, is because I probably forgot that. It's a bit of like weird telegraphing, ironically, as I was just praising the telegraphing earlier. It's a bit of weird telegraphing because previously the flowers typically were warps to send you back to existing areas from what we've seen so far. So to have one actually be required is actually kind of mean. Oh, this was stupid. I didn't die, but that I definitely started flying too early. I definitely could have, like, fallen there. So yeah, Sonic Central was fun, from what I saw. Again, I didn't watch it firsthand, but I saw what was announced, and yeah, it seemed okay. I still am hoping for a Sonic, Dream Team console port at some point, just because that does look really fun. And yeah, that is probably one of my most, like, wanted things out of the franchise at the moment, because, like, we're getting Fantasian in December, which was also Apple Arcade, and also, like, you know, even Shantae and the Seven Sirens was Apple Arcade at launch. So most Apple Arcade games are, like, ending up on console. So I really want Sonic Dream Team, because apparently people say it's a pretty solid, like, Sonic game. It's just the problem of it's on Apple Arcade, and no one really has a way to play it. Which, it feels like a very, like, more adventure style, but almost more like sandbox level based, kind of like Lost World. So it kind of feels like an interesting, like, dynamic. I'm very glad I double checked that flower, because otherwise we would have had to loop the stage and just try to figure out what we were missing. So yeah, knowing that, that actually also wasn't too bad, but next stage, 100%, I think, is actually, frustrating to play through. We'll see how it is, like, you know, actually playing it again, if I feel the same way. But yeah, I do remember this next stage being a headache. Especially, like, both missions are actually kind of bad, for different reasons, and we'll get into that. But we have to blow out all the red torches, which is, like, there's a lot of torches in this stage. And some are hidden really rudely, like, above platforms and stuff that are kind of out of sight. It's also just tedious having to use the tornado like 50 million times, like 60 times in the stage, to extinguish everything. So yeah, it's just a case of it being a little tedious. And again, the problem of if you miss one, you have to play through the entire stage again until you find out which one you missed. Which is always, like, fun. And yeah, and then the actual, like, battle arena stage for, the next boss is also, like, the worst variant of that, so... In general, we do have some pretty, like, this is kind of the low point for Chaotix, for sure. With these, like, I always thought these looked like foam, which is, like, why would Eggman give enemies shields made out of, like, foam? But with those enemies, you can't just break through them eventually with, like, normal attacks. It's only, like, the metal shields that you pretty much have to use either a power character or a tornado on. This has to be like pressure based because it wasn't moving otherwise.
Let's go.
I am definitely looking more carefully than I probably need to, but I don't want to take any chances and have to go back and do a bunch of stuff over and over again. This is like the Sonic and the Black Knight problem, for gameplay at least, where it's like having to stop and like do combat is just kind of like a pace breaker in Sonic, and typically people don't like pace breakers in a series that's like built around going fast. But I feel like almost like beyond that, just trying to judge the stage for itself, it's not like inherently bad, it's just kind of antithetical to the Sonic mentality. Hi, welcome back, Peter. Hope you're doing okay. We're almost done with Chaotix. We only have like one more set after this, so we're making very good time today. Much better than I thought we would. Which is definitely making me happy that we'll be able to just get through this game, hopefully today. Assuming Robot Storm doesn't completely destroy us, there's a chance it will. Ate 2 grilled cheeses, I feel great. That is good to hear. If I had a head pat emote and was not also trying to play Sonic Heroes right now, I would post a head pat emote in chat right now. Watching you also makes me feel good. Aw, thank you. Well, now I have to go look. One moment. Yeah, I have like 3 active, or I had like 3 active gift subs, and most of them ran out, unfortunately. But I have this at least, so we'll just do this, for the time being. There we go. Alrighty then, moving on, we are making very good time. Iron Mouse, I actually got a gift sub to Iron Mouse, obviously, which always felt kind of like surreal when it happens, and when like it's a stream community that's that big, because like the odds of getting a gift sub in a sea of thousands of people is extraordinarily slim, to be blunt. Okay, that's just for mission 2. Otherwise we just go through here. I swear we're missing stuff though. This is stupid. The flower doesn't activate with the switch in that configuration, so we have to actually go all the way back here and then activate this again. I didn't actually remember that because I almost always just move on, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, next Monday we'll start something new, and I have like a couple of ideas of what to play. Some might be kind of short, so we might double up games. Also, get ready to hear the dialogue in this hallway, like, a lot. Like, you will, like, hear Charmy say, we're going round and round, round and round and round, like, a lot of times if you don't know the switch is up here. Like, I definitely remember as a kid, just, like, running in circles, and just hearing Charmy, like, saying this. Like, ad nauseum for like a dozen times, because I did not know where that switch was. Also, be very careful and make sure that the flames are actually extinguished. There's also a Flames of Disaster joke somewhere in here, but I don't think I have the mental capacity right now to try to formulate it. I haven't seen the Knuckles show, I've only seen the ending of that episode because I was curious, so I found it online. Fire? Heat from fire, fire from heat? Yeah, probably. That was rushed. Again, I feel like I almost don't... I feel like my vocal tone is too flat, like... And that's part of the reason why it doesn't sound as feminine as I would prefer. Just because, yeah, my vocal tone in general comes off a little, like, monotone, I guess, for lack of a better word. Yeah, it's fascinating how they actually have to write out onomatopoeia like that. Alright, we have, what, 26 more to go. If we can actually fly back up. Wow, I'm confused. This place is a maze. Heat from fire, fire from heat. I did not even think about that, to be honest. But that's also the wrong stream for that, thankfully. Well, for someone else's sake, thankfully. Yeah, how is Charmy strong enough to lift all of them?
We don't know what that switch triggered.
Like, that's kind of impressive, actually. Because Charmy's, like, canonically, like, 6 at this point. Again, in the comics, he's, like, a lot older. But then they have him, like, experience an accident to, like, make him reset to the mental age of 6 so they could adapt, Sonic Heroes. It's, like, really messed up, but again, that's, like, nothing new for, that writer of Sonic comics, of just having really messed up stuff in them. Insert the B-movie copy pasta. I wish I could remember it, but I can't.
I'll take the lead.
Let's go.
Alright, almost done. We're making good time, I'd say. I want to double check this down here, though. That's just a ring. Okie dokie. But also a hidden blue flame. So that can really throw you for a loop if, you're trying to go for the other rank. Or the other mission.
I'll take the lead.
42, got the meaning of life. I think that's the meaning of life. 42?
Let's go. Here we go.
I remember watching the movie for that and not liking it, but then I found out later that, like, book fans really did not like, Hitchhikers, or that particular adaptation of Hitchhikers, so I felt a little bit better about it. It's like, okay, so, like, so it's not just, like, the sense of humor completely bouncing off of me. It's like, this is just genuinely a bad adaptation, basically. How many left? 14! And this is also why I don't talk about my lucky number, so it doesn't get pointed out every time. I think I've said it, like, somewhere, but I don't remember where. This part sucks. This is the worst part of the stage. We have this, like, ghost... What's the term? My brain wants to say ghost roll, but that's a Vocaloid song. Ghost ladder, right?
I'll take the lead.
But, like, that's what this kind of game is called, where you, like, go until you hit a, like, detour, and then you have to take that path. Like, yeah, Ghost Ladder or something like that. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure the Japanese word is, like, Amudakuchi or something like that. Which is, like, how do I know that? There's a song called that. That I really like, actually. So that's like how I remember the Japanese name for it, but not the English. We'll just use SBO. We can go through lasers because that totally makes sense. I am really getting the vibe I missed stuff. I don't care. That one minigame, a new Super Mario / Mario 64 DS? Yeah, basically. I also forgot the Japanese spelling, to be honest. Because the name of the song, I think... Ghost Leg, that's what it is. I knew it was Ghost something. But I couldn't remember the exact, term. Thank you for looking that up, because I was probably gonna Google it anyway, while we're loading the next stage. Oh god, we have a problem, I think.
Here we go.
We might have a problem. No, never mind, we're good. I was scared that that was gonna take us back to the beginning, meaning that we missed something. But oh boy, how do we proceed here? I'm gonna just play risky, just run past and hope we can get them, and we did, so we're good. Oh, good. So now we have, like, the worst boss in the game. And also the worst variant of this fight.
Not bad.
Yeah, that was slow. That was 10 minutes. I get why that's a C rank, even though I'm not entirely sure I was expected to do that any faster, to be fair. Yeah, this stage sucks. I'm just gonna say it right now.
There you are, you mustache moron. He's the one, right?
Mustache moron? I'm the world's greatest...
This is gonna cost you extra. Get them.
As if the game wasn't being opaque enough before. There's something strange about the client, you don't say, SBO. Alright, I do remember something about the last cutscene that's really frustrating, but again, I also have to recognize, oh yeah, Sonic is a kid's game, so the logic may not be the game's strong suit sometimes.
I'll take the lead. Awesome.
Yeah, this stage expects you to do a lot of BS, basically, like with cannons. And as we've seen so far, the cannons aren't necessarily the most reliable, and it's also at the very end of the stage, or at least like the second to last part, so it's very easy to die at the very end, basically, and have to redo the whole thing. So yeah, we'll be definitely using the Team Blast glitch quite a bit to try to speed this up as much as we can. I like how the gold robot destroys all the others, but we end up taking out everybody else except the gold robot. Anyway. Oh boy, that's a lot of enemies. This will probably give us an immediate Team Blast too. So I don't really care about using it up right here, because we'll get it right back, more than likely. Yeah, they're already setting us up to do like cannon tricks, which I do not approve of, to be honest. Yep, immediate Team Blast, so we're good to go there. This is a very interesting egg pond design. I'm not entirely sure how to feel about it, but it does show up in shadow as well, and I think it's on the colors.
There's so many of them.
It's an endless sea.
Oh boy, that's a Team Blast. Just gonna save myself a little bit of a headache here. Team Chaotix will end up with the most lives and most playthroughs just because you get so many rings. Yeah, this is the part that kinda... No, next part. It's like the rail section that's really bad, if I recall. I don't know if we have to destroy the actual, like, flying robots. Knowing this game, I wouldn't be surprised. Also, by the way, the power formation gets like an extended attack finisher that upgrades. So, for example, level 1 for Vector is music notes, level 2 is fire, and level 3 is bubbles. Similarly, the other characters also get like different buffs to their actual attacks. Like Omega fires a bunch of like cannons that then upgrade to missiles after. I totally missed out there was a big enemy on stage. So yeah, task failed successfully. We didn't die there, but I almost did because I definitely was just attacking haphazardly and not paying enough attention. And yeah, they toss a lot of like the really big hammer enemies at you, more so than for the other teams. With level 3, it does eat through them pretty fast though, so luckily we don't have to worry too much about that. This is the crappy part. We have to do some really weird stuff to get through here. It's like if we look over there, you might see some like dash panels. Yeah, you are expected to actually fire cannons over there, and hope that the game doesn't break and throw you off a platform. Well, now I'm actually curious about something though. Does Team Blast actually work on those, or are they too far away? They're too far away, cool. So we also just wasted our Team Blast, so even better. Yeah, this part absolutely sucks. This is easily the worst part of this story. Partly just because sometimes it doesn't work properly, like it doesn't actually send you back to the platform like it's supposed to. So you just have to pray the game actually behaves to some extent. And hitting like the enemies that are flying in and out of the screen, that's also an extra level of hell that you have to worry about. Which we should actually wait for those to come back before we take another shot. Realizing this is kind of like pachinko almost. Well, we got a couple of the bird enemies, so that was a not too bad attempt there. Fire 2 at them. Missed most of the shots, but that's fine. Definitely missed that shot, for sure. Yeah, this is why the stage just kind of sucks in my opinion, because it just takes forever for one thing. And it also just kind of isn't very fun, because it's like too precise for its own good, and that's kind of a recurring problem with this game in general, is a lot of tricks that you have to perform are very precise, and the game doesn't give you the precision to actually perform what they're asking of you, I think is how I feel about it. Every time I feel like I just sort of reflexively like grit my teeth as I like pray that the characters actually survive.
Time to give up.
You're finished!
Oh, that's bad. So we have to basically switch to Charmy right away and hope for the best. Oh good, now we're in a loop. Oh, this is really bad now. I genuinely don't know what I'm supposed to do here. What happens if we fire them over there? Oh, that's death. Okay. Genuinely feeling like I soft blocked this. Oh, we almost got out. It's like, I don't think I have directional input here. I wonder if Team Blast might help. I might spam it as we land. Nope. I don't know if I've ever seen this happen before, to be honest. Hey, remember what I said about, like, losing all your progress in this stage? Yeah, there we go. So now we have to do everything all over again. Just because the game decided to break, basically. See, like, my thing is, I'm not even, like, upset about it, because I expect the game to do that, because I'm just used to this game doing that, to the point where it's like, it doesn't really faze me that much, just because it's like, yeah, I'm kind of just used to the game pulling stuff like this, or the physics just not working.
I'll take the lead!
Let's go. Amazing.
Now I'm trying to think of other things to talk about, since we're just basically having to go through the stage all over again. I mean, like, gaming news is gonna be kind of interesting all week, because Tokyo Game Show. A lot of the stuff yesterday was just, like, the preliminary setup, but, like, I think Sega still has, like, 2 more games to announce. No, maybe just 1, because obviously, what the hell is this game called? Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, I think is the full name. That feels like way longer than it should be, personally. But, I don't remember if there were 2 or 3, in which case there would still be some more games from Sega to announce, potentially. And, like, I don't expect anything from, like, Square Enix, to be honest, at this point. The main thing I hope for from Square Enix is obviously Kingdom Hearts news, but I've been waiting like for ages. I've kind of given up, to be honest. It'll happen when it happens. But also with Kingdom Hearts, it's like I still need to finish 3, to be honest. I'm way behind. And Dream Drop Distance. Dream Drop Distance was when I hit a burnout point. Basically, I was trying to get through all of them before 3, and then got to the point of like, I am not having fun with Dream Drop Distance after Traverse Town in that game. Like, that's how early I gave up on it, was like Traverse Town. Like, I think there's like nothing there, really, to like get like upset about in terms of like rage quitting or anything. It was just kind of like, I just kind of hit my limit with Kingdom Hearts. And now I'm at the point where it's like, that was like 5 years ago at this point. I feel like I need to just start over again. So, also, that was a whole gender ago, and also a different username ago. So, like, I have the PS version, so hypothetically I could get all the trophies in some of the games, or some of the trophies over again. I would not go for platinums in any of them, because they require, like, Birth by Sleep is my favorite Kingdom Hearts game so far, based on overall vibes. But the problem with it is 100% sucks because you have to 100% it with every character And that just seems like hell, to be honest. So yeah, maybe someday, but not anytime soon for that.
Smash them all.
If you have to ask, no one asked, but I was just gonna say, if like, I feel like it should be obvious who my favorite in Birth by Sleep is. It's like, I don't even think it needs to be asked at this point. I think it's pretty explanatory. Or at least easy to guess, I mean. It feels like if you hit the top ones, they end up going back into the canon. If they hit the lower rings, they end up like, not falling straight back into the canon. And also the ones at an angle seem to work better. So we'll keep that in mind for next time. We have enough time to try to go for these and miss most of them, with Charmy at least. It is not Master Ericus, assuming I even said that correctly. It's been a bit since I've played, what's the game? Dream Drop. Not Dream Drop. Birth by Sleep. That's always a good sign when I forget the game I'm talking about as I'm talking about it. Okay, I don't think there's a rhyme or reason to the canons. I think they just do whatever they feel like in the moment. Cause I feel like it's slightly inexplicable, what determines where the characters actually go. Like, it doesn't feel like there's any science to it. I'm doing this just to kill my momentum, basically, and reset my, like, overall positioning. This might be a mistake, yeah. Basically, because we had so much momentum coming out of the cannon, I wanted to kill my momentum. Just to be on the safe side, because we would have been sliding around for a bit otherwise. I have no clue if this is the final phase. I'm just gonna do this anyway. There are enough enemies that will be fine either way. So yeah, this went a lot worse than I was hoping it would, to be honest. But hey, we got through the fight eventually, at least. That's something. Never mind, we still have more. Oh boy, okay. This is probably the last phase, because that's a lot of really stupid enemies to fight. And yeah, I don't even think the next two stages are that bad. The next one's stealth, and then a time limit for the hard mode version, or the second mission version, and then just like finding half the collectibles again, and I think it's only like 5 that time. So yeah, that is, to me, the hardest part of Team Chaotix. I don't know how you're supposed to do it any faster also, that feels like a tall ask, to try to get, like, an A rank on that. No clue, I don't think I've ever even done it, like, once in my life.
Once we start a job, we finish the job. That's the policy. We're Team Chaotic.
Here's your next mission.
So yeah, we have to sneak in, I'm pretty sure. Do not get detected. That's easier said than done. I don't think the cannons count, thankfully, so we don't at least have to worry about that. The biggest problem is just, oh look, spear enemies. If you clip the spear wrong, you lose your invisibility, and then you have to restart. So, that's the worst part of this. Just if the game decides, oh, you're running into the spiky part of this robot, then that sucks, and it's kind of out of your control also. And sometimes the game will just target things inexplicably in terms of the lock-on for the homing attack. Luckily though, they aren't terribly observant, so it's not too big of a deal. Somehow feels a bit like the bomb shoe bowling in Zelda, where it's like I was trying to hit that, but I kept hitting the robot instead. Ocarina of Time is a game I kind of want to do at some point on stream, partly just to see if I feel better about the game. I feel like I go back and forth on whether I like Ocarina of Time or not. In general, I think it's a really good game that's like foundational for the industry, but I played it like so late after like Twilight Princess that it never quite click with me the same way. Now, something else that's kind of sitting on, that's kind of like on my mind, it's kind of weird that, okay, like, Sonic Central spoilers, I guess, for those who did not see the announcements and want to see the announcements. It's genuinely confusing to me that, like, they made a special arena for Mephiles, but not Metal Sonic.
Here we go! Here we go! Here we go!
Like, now that I'm just, you know, going through Egg Fleet again, it's kind of weird that they just, like, reuse Force's chemical plant, and I don't think that's even a bad idea. I think it would actually be a really cool set piece to have, like, a crashed Egg Fleet in, the ocean, but the way they handle it in, the way they handle it in what we've seen of Sonic and Shadow Generations, it's just like, just strikes me as a little bit odd, I guess, that they didn't try to have any sort of imagery from, the actual original game in the way that they're even doing for Mephiles. Like, it would've been cool if they had had, like, parts of the Egg Fleet and Final Fortress, like, just ruined in the water, and could've still used Chemical Plant as a backdrop, but it just kind of almost feels a little bit, like, oddly cheap compared to the others, especially when they're going all out for other aspects of, Shadow Generations. I couldn't even move fast if I wanted to. I was like oddly stuck on the side of the platform. If anything, this mission is just kind of tedious, I think. Like, it's not bad, it's just, it's time consuming because of just how, like, we can't use any of our normal formation techniques. We basically have to adapt to using, SPO for everything. And now I'm like trying to remember what to do here. I think we just hit the switches. I don't think we actually have to worry about like holding them all down at least. So that's something that makes it a little bit easier. But also I think there are actually some under the cannons too. So might as well see if I remember right, or if I'm thinking of Final Fortress. Oh, never mind, the door's open the whole time. Shows how much I'm paying attention, I guess. Alright, so we are almost done, I think. We should have this set piece here. And maybe one or two more fights, but again, I think we're almost done with this like set piece. Oh wait, we have SBO. Why am I worrying about the lasers? I'm like, I gotta dodge the lasers, but it's like, oh yeah, they go through us. I'm worrying for nothing. I think I confirmed sound, so I can't tell if that worked or not.
You know, no shit. I wonder if we can take one.
I forgot to pay the electric bill for the office. Here we go!
Yeah, how does Charmy expect to be able to hijack one of these ships? I'd be very fascinated to find out. Game? Game please? Hello? Okay, maybe it's like this. There it is. That was weird. I forgot that you had to do that move instead. Yeah, I think we only have to fight this robot and we're basically at the end. Oh, it's actually just a cannon. Oh, and there was a robot, okay. I am also not sure if Team Blast will cause problems, so I'm actually gonna take this a little bit slow, just to ensure that we don't mess up at the very end. There we go. And that should be it. So there's the goal. Mission accomplished. Oh boy, okay. That was almost very bad. I was trying to homing attack over the, like, warning sign and almost just bit the dust there. We're good. In Final Fortress I don't remember being too bad, so we'll easily be able to finish the game tonight. We'll definitely have time for the final story. Again, this went really smoothly, actually. Again, I think Team Dark only took 3 hours, partly just because of how cursed that run was. We ran into so many weird glitches and hang-ups because of just inexplicable things happening in the game. Final mission! So 5 keys. Again, I think the hard mode version is 10 keys. So again, we only need half, which does make things a lot simpler if we don't have to collect everything, you know, first try. But again, I do kind of wish that in Shadow Generations, the Metal Overlord fight had more of an atmosphere like this. Again, especially the attention to detail and other aspects of the game. It just feels like a little bit of a missed opportunity. But really, you know, not a huge deal in the slightest, I'd say. Can I reach that with SBO? We can, cool, that's really cool actually. I don't think I've ever tried that before, but I'm glad it works. I'd rather be invisible for this, but we're fine. Team Blast and the shield. It's also fun to think about, like, shield power-ups in Sonic, how very rarely, like, the lightning shield really comes up. It almost never comes up in games. I was pressing Z, but nothing was happening, so I just run headfirst into the enemy. Alright, key number 2. Again, since there's only 10 instead of, like, you know, 20 like some of the other stages, they are spread out a lot more, for better or worse. Does make the stage feel a little bit slower, but it's not too bad. This is dangerous, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. But again, trying to, like, tornado on these tiny platforms is also not my favorite thing in the world, so... This kind of feels like a damned if you do, damned if you don't at a point. This is a weird setup. We have a fan and a pole. So I guess there's some way to there must be some way to activate that and actually access it either direction. But I'm not aware of how to do that, to be honest. Alright, we'll just do this and hope we can finish it off in time. We actually didn't need to fight that at all. And we also already have all the keys we need, or all the emeralds we need, so we don't even have to worry about getting the Chaos Emeralds. We can go straight to the final story. This does feel slower paced than the others because there are so fewer keys. There are fewer keys compared to the other teams. We'll Team Blast. Doesn't really matter. Obviously, I'll immediately regret that we used it here, but I just don't want to be bothered to fight this enemy, basically. I'm also just gonna do that, so we skip the lasers. SBO is still invisible here, which is kind of funny, so the other characters won't really respond to our movements, which is not really great on grind rails, because they can easily get sniped by cannons. How many fleets, how many identical ships and structures does Eggman actually have, when basically every time... You know, something I'm now wondering, and I don't know if I want to find out, is, does SBO being invisible give him immunity from these lasers? I actually don't know. Never really thought to try it before, and I don't really want to find out now, but maybe off-screen. If I remember at some point, I'd like to test that out, see if that's actually possible. So the problem with these robots is if you don't stun them, they just raise a shield, and that just means everything takes a lot longer. So what I tend to try to do is, like, wait for them to charge up the laser, and then try to stun them with Thunder Shoot like this, and then you have, like, free reign to try to deal as much damage as you can. Alright, so far so good. We have one more to go. which should be very close by, I think. And we have to use the tornado once more. I don't even remember what this is. I think it's like Leaf Tornado or something like that. It's got a different name than the other tornado moves for some reason. I mean, it makes sense all of them are different, like this, the Hammer Tornado, for example. Yeah, the last key should be over here, so we should be almost done. Or last key we need. There are more of them, but again, we only need half for this mission, so not a big deal whatsoever. I am gonna do something weird with this fight. I think I'm going to actually try to destroy this one slowly, because I think we have to fight a worse set of enemies before too long, and I'd rather not have to mess around with it more than we have to. Actually, Vector kind of chews through those enemies, that's good to know. Again, I feel like everyone else has a lot more trouble with some enemies, but again, in some cases... Oh, that doesn't take you to the upper level. My bad, I thought that did. So, I guess we'll get the key after, but that's no big deal. I'm actually starting to wonder how many keys there are, because it's like... I feel like we would have seen more than enough by now, but I feel like we also haven't... We're at the end, to the point where it's like, I don't know how many more opportunities to get keys there are. What am I doing? This is the last key we need. We'll just finish it up. And we're done! All we have to do is collect this, and we are golden. So all that's left is the boss, and after that we will obviously have to sit through the credits and then move on to the final story. So yeah, I think this will still be shorter than last stream on Monday. And yeah, it'll feel good to actually get this wrapped up. And then after that, again, I might take a break before Shadow, just for the sake of not burning out on Sonic, because I've done 2 in a row now. So I might try to find something else to fill the gap.
Looks like we're in a jam, boys. Evil must die. Beware my ninja power. Enough of this. Just feel charming, Victor. Time to meet your maker.
Bring it on!
I'll show you what real evil is. This must be the final stage.
Is that it?
Not really, boys. This is where we have to get started. Don't let your guards down.
I don't know how to proceed with this stage. I almost think Power might be better, just because it's easier to do the, like, range attack compared to Knuckles and Omega, who attack more directly. Like this move, I think that'll be our best bet against it, actually. So we're gonna take this on a little bit differently than previously. You can actually break the shield also, which is a good thing to keep in mind, potentially. But again, you might want to stun the shield also, because that obviously makes it easier to hit the main body. Actually, that doesn't seem very effective, so maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe we should just try to fight normally. But also, they're getting stunned a lot. Obviously, you can take out the turrets, but that does waste time, potentially. So that is something to keep in mind. It's like prioritizing various aspects of this fight. This isn't going to be enough to kill, sadly. At least I don't think it will be. This is bad. I don't know if we might die as soon as we, like, exit this scene. There's a chance we will. Oh, this is the first time we've seen him actually escape, because every other time we were able to get through the fight so easily. We didn't even have to worry. Also, I feel like the speed formation is kind of useless in this fight. Like, you can do that, but also, as you witnessed, that's not necessarily the best plan sometimes. Oh, this is problematic.
Here we go!
Well, we're in level 3 now, so we should definitely be able to finish off the final phase, no problem. I'm not even gonna bother with the power core, because we don't need it. Well, we're using Fly anyway. Yeah, I think my problem before was I didn't take out the enemies, so the lock-on was acting up. This is definitely like a B or a C rank, just because we have to take an extra cycle. But yeah, you can permanently disable the shield. I almost never see it happen though, just because of how, like, you can't damage it while it's stunned, so it's just gonna end up being the main body that you end up attacking a lot. Yeah, that takes care of Chaotix. Only one more little story left. Again, it's just a little bonusy thing. Nothing too, like, major, so easily be able to finish it up before the end of this stream.
Alright, our work is done!
Guess it was a fake after all.
What do you mean, after all?
We're here to save you. Dr. Eggman, I presume.
What's going on?
What's up?
You knew it was me all along, didn't you? It's all part of being a good detective.
Were we fooled that easily?
You're rotten!
Hey, hold on, you guys. It's no trick, and besides, I plan on paying you. You'll be rewarded handsomely for helping me. As soon as I conquer the world, I will pay you. Some nerve promising what you ain't got. We've been had. Just wait a minute. Just listen to me.
Take this, you bad man!
It's actually kind of messed up for a Sonic game. Like, kind of brutal for this series. But hey, we're done. Almost. Again, one more story left to go. And the last story is only like one boss. Probably take like 20 minutes. So yeah, I will say, having gone through it again, I actually don't have as many issues with Team Chaotix as I thought I would on this playthrough. Again, I remember the previous time I played this game I definitely had a lot of trouble, but that actually wasn't too bad. Again, Robot Storm was the hurdle, and I knew it would be. Beyond that, it went pretty okay. Ranks are obviously a nightmare. I don't know how you're expected to get good ranks on some of those stages. But the other thing is, I do think, in general, ranking all the teams, I do like Team Rose is the best, just because I do think the stage lengths are a lot more reasonable. Then probably Team Sonic, just because they're the more traditional route, but again, some of the stages do go on a bit. Then actually, I almost want to say Chaotix, because, again, it really wasn't that bad, though again, maybe it's because I know where everything is, so I didn't have to, like, look as hard for collectibles compared to, like, on the first playthrough. And then Team Dark, just because on this particular story run, everything went wrong that could have gone wrong. Well, not everything, but you know what I mean. I just think, in general, that was such a cursed run. But ironically, my story order is I actually like Team Dark's story the most. They're the most relevant, obviously. Because they're the only one that actually follows up a plotline that matters, which is why it's Shadow here, meaning it actually has a little bit more weight than the other stories. Like, Team Rose's story is just very standard, Team Sonic's is fairly standard, Chaotix is a fun diversion, so, story-wise, I almost think Team Rose's is the least engaging in my opinion, just because we're back to really love-struck Amy, which almost feels like a regression of her character after Adventure. And to be fair, that's the problem with the series as a whole, is they tend to undo character arcs to try to excuse more character development. That's kind of my biggest fear right now of Shadow. Shadow, Generations, is that reopening all this storyline of Shadow's past might just end up kind of feeling a little bit out of place, given that Shadow's past has already been developed quite a bit in, like, his own game, Shadow the Hedgehog, and also a little bit in, like, SA2, obviously. So, like, retreading Shadow's past, I think, does come with a bit of a risk of just being a little bit redundant, and again, Sonic Forces itself had that problem to some extent, or Sonic Frontiers had that problem to some extent, where basically everything ended up feeling a little bit like redoing all the character arcs that the adventure games had already done. But yeah, to defeat Last Evil. So all that's left is this mysterious boss that we totally have not seen before. Might as well jump right in, because it's a very long cutscene for this particular fight.
Then who was it? Who locked you up here for trying to conquer the world?
It was...
All living things kneel before your master.
Metal Sonic has finally transformed!
So that's Metal Sonic?
It's useless! Metal Sonic has combined your data with the power of chaos and is super strong! We can't defeat it! Ah! If only we had the 7 Chaos Emeralds! What's this? But how? Even with the Emerald's power, our chances for victory are slim. It would take a miracle.
Just leave that to me, Doc.
Sonic, no, I'm going with you too.
Tails.
You can count me in, too.
Knuckles.
Okay, guys. We'll buy you some time. That way you can use your superpowers.
Okay then. Let's get ready to do this. We'll show that creep the real superpower of teamwork!
You're the one pretending to be Sonic. You're the one responsible.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I forgot how much strobing there is in that cutscene. That's really not good. And also, apologies for not remembering to point that out. In general, though, it really shows how little regard there was for that in this era. Which is definitely a recurring feeling I have a lot. It's just, they really did not care. Though, to be fair, I almost feel like even at this time, CRTs would have probably been used more. And I'm pretty sure those kind of dull the colors a little bit, so it might not have been as bad, because I genuinely don't remember it looking that bad from what I remember playing of the game before. So yeah, we basically cycle through all the teams, going through just in time for peak. Hello, welcome. Yeah, you made it just in time for the final boss. We have a Team Blast already from the previous, so we might as well use it. Now maybe I should have saved that for Team Dark, now that I'm thinking about it. I also don't remember how checkpointing works in this fight, which might be a problem. If it's like convenient for that. I also don't know what's gonna happen here with the spikes. Also, we can't damage him like this either, so we'll just bounce off of him like so in order to to avoid falling. But yes, hello, welcome. Basically you have to hit the boss with a different color than whatever is lit up. So, like, right now it's red, so we have to use Charmy, and then basically I never use speed. That's a recipe for disaster. Also, these crystals can trap your characters, and you have to actually free them. If you lose all your characters, obviously you have to restart. So, I also don't remember if you have checkpoints in between. Again, it's been a bit since I've actually played through this game, so I don't remember all the details of, like, some things like that. But again, I also forgot that, like, the Team Blast carries over, because we had it going into, Chaotix.
Now it's up to you!
This victory shall soon turn into despair.
Consuming power of others at your own will. And that's supposed to make you tough?
Again, I tend to not use speed formation just because it feels scary tossing your characters over a pit like that. A little bit more dependable, I find. But again, occasionally you can still get sniped like that, even with Fly. We almost have a Team Blast too, so that's good. Also, Team Blast will bring back characters that have been taken away. So for example, if you lose a character to that, you will free all the characters. Keep them. That's really good to keep in mind for the final phase too, because you also have a mechanic in play. I like how we lost the ring at the start of the fight. That's really fair of the game to do that. So basically the goal of this fight is to charge up the Team Blast and then use it to take out Metal Overlord. You have to use Team Blast 5 times. First time, we're gonna try not using the Team Blast glitch, just for the sake of not completely breaking the fight. This fight's also kind of, like, debated because of not having the ability to actually... basically, people kind of dislike how Knuckles and Tails don't get their traditional super forms from 3, but they're actually tied to the Super Emeralds from 3 and Knuckles, therefore they technically didn't really have a super form akin to Supersonic, just like Hyper Tails and Hyper Knuckles. So this is sort of lore accurate, oddly enough. But also just a little bit frustrating that they didn't give them, like, a new transformation. Same criticism also went for Amy with Origins. Some people were hoping for a more elaborate super form than just she's a slightly different shade of pink. Oh wow, I can't even see the balloons because of all this, like, flying around. He can also just time stop you too. Like, he can use Chaos Control, so that really sucks when that happens. Other than that, there's, like, the Spine Attack, which, again, I think can actually crystallize it, characters too, even in this fight. But I think Tails can also break them. So yeah, I think Tails can break these, which is, I think, what you're supposed to do to build up meter. But again, I don't even feel like it's a good way to build up meter. I ended up hitting the balloon instead of getting the charge, unfortunately. Yeah, Hyper Knuckles would be cool, but we just never get anything like that anymore. Again, the form in Frontiers is like the closest thing to a new super form, and even that's, like, not really that different.
Counter his Spine
Is this 2 or 3? Or is this 3 or 4? I think this is 3. Probably 2 more? I want Hyper in general. Yeah, it's like been forever since they've actually even put Hypersonic in. But again, Team Blast glitch still works in this fight, so if you want to get through the fight in like a minute, you can just charge up the Team Blast instantly, like a bunch of times, and just immediately win. No problem, but obviously it's the final boss. I wanted to at least attempt to fight it somewhat legit and not just completely break the game. But again, just noting that is an option. Again, the crystals are really annoying to deal with because you're constantly flying away too, so it's very, if I recall correctly, it is possible to lose characters very easily here. That was a really fast fight, even without the glitch. I think that's it, right? Again, it's a really cool boss fight, but also, it's like really short too.
That was pretty tough. Too bad it's all over. For you!
It's no use. But why can't I defeat you?
Because we're Sonic Heroes. Sonic! Anytime you want a rematch, just let me know. I'll be waiting.
Hey, Sonic, wait up! Sorry to leave like this, but I can't let my Sonic get away. Good luck, Yuna!
Sonic sure has his hands full.
I guess I'm out of here too. I think I'll go hunt for someone else's treat.
She never gives up, does she? Oh, no you don't. Wait!
Guess that's it for this case.
Guess so.
But what about our money?
Man, I almost forgot. That slime ball!
All right! Our next adventure awaits us, so there's no time to waste. Yeah! We're Sonic Heroes! What goes up must come down. Yeah, my feet don't touch the ground.
And with that, we officially finished the game. So, I don't really have much to say about the last story. It's very self-explanatory. It's a cool final boss. It's nice having all the teams. It's kind of easy, though, which is weird, because I remember struggling a lot with this fight as a kid, so maybe I'm just used to it. Or we just had really good luck with dodging attacks, because we definitely got clipped a few times, but in general, we didn't, get knocked off the platform or anything overly bad. So in general, that was a pretty smooth fight. I like how we have this little montage here showing scenes from all the different stories. I do really like this game still. I think going through it again has kind of re-solidified my take that this game is actually pretty alright. Still not my favorite. It's probably like, again, like a 7.5 kind of a game out of 10. Not like upper tier for me for Sonic, but just like still a nice little pleasant time. Again, I do think it gets dragged down a lot because of just having to do all the stories in a row to like unlock the true ending, but it doesn't really matter as much in this format. Doing a stream, doing one story per stream meant I didn't burn out as much as I usually would, because I'm deliberately having to pace myself more compared to if you're playing on your own time and you can just binge the game, obviously you could very easily burn out that way. But if like you're literally pacing yourself like this to the point of just... like, being able to, like, separate everything out. It's not that bad. Definitely almost feels like a game that, if you just do, like, a story at a time, it's not the worst, but I definitely get why people thought the 4-story setup was a little bit much. And then there's Shadow the Hedgehog, where you have to play through the game 10 times, a minimum, to get the true ending. Again, I don't remember it being that stroby originally, but it feels like it always was, because you can see like the shadows reacting to the lightning, so it had to be that stroby originally. Yeah, fun game. I definitely enjoy it. I wish it would get like a modern re-release. You know, maybe widescreen. But again, if it's renderware, they'd basically have to remake a whole new game, and I don't think that would be worth it. There was like a rumor a while back about like doing an Unreal Engine remake of this game. Better code as a foundation. We're not getting all A ranks. I have never done that, and I definitely don't have the skill anymore to be able to do something like that. Yeah, that is all teams done. That went very smoothly, all things considered. Again, few hiccups with Team Dark mostly. So really quickly, I just wanted to see how we did. 64 emblems, that makes sense. I think there's like 100 something in total. Because like the bosses don't actually have bonus ranks, so you have 14 stages times 4. That'd be 16. Would that be 56? So I think there are 120 emblems, if the math is right. So yeah, some of these ranks make sense, like obviously you're supposed to go after points more with Casino Park compared to, you know, score attack, which is, or like time attack, which is kind of what we did just for the sake of time. We had a really good run there, but then it fell apart at Hang Castle and Mystic Mansion because we had weird quirks in both cases. Yeah, Final Fortress we also died at the very end, unfortunately, so that makes sense. That's still an A rank, I actually missed that. Like, I kind of glossed over that. Yeah, what is the mission 2 for Dark? I'm actually just curious. Again, we finished... Again, I didn't even think we'd get through Final Story today. So it's defeat 100 enemies. That's kind of annoying, actually. But yeah, basically the mission 2s all follow a different structure. For Team Dark, it's defeat 100 enemies. For Team Sonic, it's a time trial, essentially. Finish it in X amount of time per stage. Team Rose is collecting some amount of rings. I think it's 200, or... it might be more, actually, but I don't remember. So we'll just duck in really quickly here. Collect 200 rings. So yeah, basically like the Chaotix mission, though in that case, the second mission is to collect like 400, which is just... no, thank you. Not interested, actually. Even as someone who enjoys the game, that doesn't sound like the best use of time. This was a B rank. That's surprising to me, because it's like... yeah, we actually did have a really poor run compared to the other teams, so that does make sense, but... still a little bit surprising. Grand Metropolis being an E, I think we die at the end also. Let's see, Team Sonic also relatively slow fight compared to, like, what we had with Team Dark of all teams. Lots of A ranks for Team Rose, it's just the time ones, like the bosses, that we kinda didn't get as many A ranks on. A few of them. But yeah, I think for Team Rose, it's like this is the only one where we didn't get an A rank on a stage. It's the Egg Fortress or Egg Fleet. So yeah, overall, Team Rose, obviously, it makes sense that if we're gonna have all A ranks, or mostly A ranks, that's gonna be the story where we get it, because it's the easier one. It makes sense. I definitely thought we were gonna have to go longer on this game, to be honest, so I'm a little bit thrown off, like, oh, do I try to throw anything else extra in? Because this was when I thought we'd be ending, but also I thought we'd still have, like, you know, 4 stages left for Chaotix, so I'm actually glad that we were able to cram it all into 4 streams. Piece of cake. And yeah, also the tutorial is interesting. If you actually go to the tutorial through the main menu, you can actually go through it with Sonic, which you normally wouldn't do. It's with Team Rose, so just kind of a fun thing to point out. There is a multiplayer mode. Obviously I can't really show that off because I don't have another controller plugged in at the moment, but the 2-player mode is not as good as Adventure 2's, I'd say. Adventure 2 has a pretty good battle mode. You also have all the cutscenes. You can't choose specifics, you basically have to go through all of them for a team, which is kind of annoying. Like, I wish I could pick and choose, but I'm pretty sure it would play all of them back to back, if I'm not mistaken. Then you have all the themes. We're still missing System Screen 3, which I assume has to be the 2-player mode. Why are we missing so many event songs? Because, like, we went through the entire story mode. How are there event songs we hadn't heard? Like, that's really weird, actually. Unless it's just some weird thing of, like, the numbers carrying over from a different... No, that doesn't seem to be the case. I genuinely don't understand that. Because it's like, what songs could we have missed? We played the entire game. There's literally nothing else it could be. And also, we never went to Special Stage 1. Which is just like a score attack thing, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, I'm genuinely baffled by this, because there's like no way to miss anything. So how did we miss so many of the songs here, unless they're unlocked some other way? Which, you know, they might be. But yeah. Don't really have a whole lot else to add. So I guess I didn't actually mean to go back to the title screen. You know, playing the game at this, like, clean of a resolution, you really notice all the, like, aliasing around the PNGs on the title screen. So yeah, 8 hours, so I assume a lot of that was just me sitting on the, you know, start select screen, or like the select team screen, like before streams and stuff, so it's not like a entirely accurate time representation. Now I'm curious about something. I just went back immediately because I'm testing. You can tell I definitely ended sooner than I thought, just because, I'm just kind of messing around at this point because I had time. So yeah, I don't know if it counts time in menus, so that actually might be the total playtime for this stream series. So yeah, not bad. Very concise little playthrough. Again, still took 4 streams though, so I do wonder how I'd ever approach like a JRPG or something. Which I have considered, because like, again, like I've talked about before, I almost would like to go through some of the Final Fantasies at some point. Just because I've never played some of them. I haven't played 5, and I haven't played most of them in a very long time. Like, the last time I played Final Fantasy 1 and 2 was years ago. And especially, like, 4, that was my first Final Fantasy, and I never went back to it. And that was also the DS remake, which is, like, notoriously difficult. It's, like, really hard, because they actually rebalanced, like, a lot of the boss fights to be different, and actually deliberately, like, throw you off if you have played the original. So like, oh, a weakness of this boss is gonna be like reversed. So the DS version is deliberately designed to be kind of different like that. You know, I actually want to do something, and this is like very silly, but I actually want to go through Seaside Hill again, just because I want to do a special stage, because we never did the first, like, version of the special stage, so I just kind of wanted to see what that was like, because I almost never do it. And again, since we finished, like, literally like 2 hours faster than I thought we would. And we're playing as Team Rose because obviously these are the shortest stages, so we'll be able to get through it a lot faster. Yeah, Sonic, I feel like as a franchise in general, a lot of times my enjoyment of Sonic is built around, like, vibes. So Heroes has kind of like a, you know, despite some of the edgy moments of it, there's just kind of a cozy vibe to the game. Obviously way cozier than Shadow, which is definitely trying to be as edgy as possible. That they can get away with a, like, E10 rating. Now, there weren't, like, supposed stories that they actually recorded it, not knowing that it was meant to be E10, so they just recorded, like, versions with even more swearing in them, which I kind of wish that had leaked at some point in the last 20 years, just because I think it would be fascinating to hear, like, all the Sonic characters, like, dropping F-bombs and everything. So yeah, now I have the problem of I need to figure out what I'm playing next time. Again, maybe I won't tack on an extra stream on Friday since we got through this as quickly as we did. Maybe I will just wait and see what I'm feeling, just spur of the moment, because again, I've talked about plans and I can talk about them some more. At this point, I almost wonder if I should just try to stream Shadow, like go straight into Shadow, just because I might be able to actually get through it before Sonic and Shadow Generations comes out, because again, I thought this playthrough would take an extra stream, so that would push me back a few, or back by a week, so I might actually try something like that. Take a break if you need it. Yeah, I should take a break on Friday. This has been a weird week. But in general, another thing I've considered is not playing the same game twice a week. Basically playing something different, like on on Monday versus on Wednesday. Like, oh, we'll play Shadow the Hedgehog on Monday and something else on Wednesday, or vice versa. I haven't decided anything yet. So yeah, I just wanted to do a special stage because I never really go around doing these because they don't have any real purpose.
Super duper happy.
It's like, this is just for points or lives or something, so it's not really that necessary. I don't feel like Sonic Heroes is a game where I run out of lives, but I actually wonder if that's just my perception being skewed by being used to the game. Obviously, we can take our time here because we don't have to worry about chasing down a Chaos Emerald. Also, the main reason I wanted to do this is just because the song is really nice. This is probably, like, a fairly underrated song in my opinion, and you like, never get to hear it because no one ever does special Stage Act 1s in this game. But yeah, in general, Heroes has a really nice soundtrack, but again, a lot of it just feels very, like, targeted to the game's vibes in a way that make them, you know, not as applicable elsewhere. It's like I talk about Guilty Gear so much, maybe I should just stream Guilty Gear next as my, like, big stream project. But again, that might be more periodic, because, like, if we go through, like, X, for example, that'll only be one stream, most likely. Maybe even half a stream. We might be able to get through X and something else on top of that. Depends on if I want to go through, like, the GBA version too. I still haven't decided how I want to, you know, divide up a playthrough like that, just because I think it would almost be fun to show off the games that don't get as much love, partly because no one knows they exist in some cases. Can you fly? No. Like, you immediately plummet if you try to fly in these stages. Peek-de-peeker? Huh? I'm confused by the context, actually. I'll take the -2 now? Okay. I don't remember what that's in response to. Like, I genuinely... My brain is a little cooked at the moment, I think. Hey, that wasn't too bad. And yeah, I think these do get harder as well as you go along, but obviously a Guilty Gear will replace it with Peak. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's a bit of a stretch, I'd say. Yeah, we don't need all these lives, especially as Team Rose, and just trying to keep the key for, like, you know, Final Fortress is gonna be really hard, so it just feels like it never comes up. It's like, why would you ever try that kind of a thing? Like, just trying to take the key to the end of, like, a Team Chaotix or Dark stage that's, like, 10 minutes just feels like a tall ask. So yeah, it makes sense that some of our more varied ranks are in Team Chaotix because of the very erratic stage lengths and difficulties. Yeah, maybe, I mean, like, again, the Arc system works, Guilty Gear panels, like, in half an hour, actually more like 15 minutes, so maybe I'll be more inspired to start that, or I might, like, do something else. I have plenty of options. Going into 2025, I think I'll start doing, like, game clearing. But just for this, like, easing in to streaming, I figured playing games I actually know would make for a slightly easier time. You know, games I don't need to focus as much on and, like, can actually talk about more easily. What mission was it that I was kind of, like, trying to remember the requirement for? There was one that I genuinely didn't remember. And now I can't remember which one it actually was. Because all of these feel very self-explanatory now. Maybe it was Egg Fleet. Now I'm curious about this one, just to see what the time limit is, because we finished in 6 minutes. I'm wondering what the time limit is for the stage. Extra mission, hurry and get to the flagship without being detected by enemies. This is just the same thing. Now I'm wondering if this is just a harder version of the main stage. Or did I choose mission 1 by accident? That could have happened too. So, just double checking. Yep, this is definitely mission 2, so we'll see if it says anything different. Nope, it doesn't say anything different. I don't know what the difference is, actually, with this mission in particular. Again, I thought this was a time limit. So either it's harder in some way, or... Okay, now okay, there is a time limit. It just didn't say in the description for some reason, so 6 minutes. That's fair. So yeah, either time limits or doubling the objectives are usually the common theme. And I'm also curious about Grand Metropolis, just because I wanted to know what the time limit was. I think it's like 7 or 8 minutes. It's pretty long. Yeah, 8 minutes isn't bad for this either. So yeah, we would have been under almost all the time limits for Chaotix. I don't think so for Sonic, though. I think, like, this one might be, like, not 4.5 minutes. It might be a little bit shorter, but we'll see. I was kind of stalling just in case we could do a raid, because I was kind of wanting to do a raid last time, and then, oh yeah, the person I wanted to raid ended immediately after yeah, they started immediately after I ended my stream, like within a minute, so, but again, once again, I don't think I should wait around. Should probably just wrap up, though, and take it easy for the day, and rest a bit. But yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by. This was a lot of fun going through this game again. Again, childhood favorites, so it's fun to revisit and stream, and like, these are games I don't normally, like, this is a game I wouldn't play normally, just cause, like, I like Sonic Heroes, but I have too many games, so... I just kind of feel like, how to put it, I wouldn't like go out of my way to play through this game again if I didn't have like a good reason to, if that makes sense. But that's like just me having too many games to play anyway, just as a general feeling. Yeah, thanks everyone for stopping by. So yeah, getting an opportunity and streaming is a good opportunity to be like, oh yeah, I can go through this game again that I haven't gotten a chance to play in like, in this case, like 5 or 6 years. No, it hasn't been that long, I don't think. I don't know how long it's been. My brain is definitely a little bit fried at the moment. Now I'm contemplating doing a raid, but I don't know who to raid, because it's like, as someone starting out, I feel like I'm a little bit scared to actually raid people. Like it's mildly intimidating, like, oh wow, yeah, I could do a raid, but also, yeah, mildly intimidating, raiding people I don't interact with as much, if that makes sense. So yeah, I might just call it then. Or... yeah, I think we should just end here, personally. You know who to raid? Okay. Then who? It's like, I feel like I keep raiding the same people just because of, like, comfortability of, like, knowing people. This is all you know. True, but again, it's like, I feel like I've raided Star 3 times by now. Just because it's like when schedules align. I don't even know what to do for a raid message. I don't feel like the stream was as funny as last time, just because of how much broke last time. I'm trying to remember any, like, good quotes, but I don't really... don't really have any ideas of what to raid with, is the thing. Again, last stream was just so cursed, it was very easy to come up with a raid message, but unfortunately it didn't work out timing-wise. Now I'm just genuinely trying to... think of something. I mean, we don't have to do a raid message. Mr. Not Cute, that works too. I don't know how long they're going for though, which maybe is a good incentive to actually do a raid now, while we can. I assume I know who you're talking about when you say that, at least. Yeah, thanks everyone for stopping by. I guess we could go and raid Icy then. You don't want to raid Star that... oh wait, I already read that, never mind. Yeah, we're gonna raid Icy. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. Next stream will either be on Friday if I'm feeling up to it, because I would actually like to do Friday streams too, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But if I don't have the energy, next stream will be definitely Monday. God only knows what I'll be playing on Monday. Again, we could start the Guilty Gear Marathon I've been planning for a bit. Or it could be something totally different. It could be Shadow the Hedgehog, it could be, like, Splatoon or something. Yeah, take care y'all. Hope everyone has a good rest of their day, and thank you for stopping by. Really appreciate it as always, and I'll see ya next time.